some of the basics of the presentation because some people have been asking me questions about them lately. And I want to make sure you guys are all clear on what needs to be done. So first of all, this is a sample. I'm going to walk you just through the basics of it. This is not 100% perfect. It meets many of the requirements. We created it to give you an idea as to what your presentation should look like and include. And like I said, this just covers the basics. This has the minimum portions to it. Minimum. This does not include the written portion of the business plan and a couple other small details I'll make sure to mention. So, the intro here. When you're doing your product intro, obviously you want to grab the attention of the viewers and you want to convince them that your product is great. In our case, I'm obviously selling this to teachers as we're tired of kids falling asleep in our class. Maybe you have a product demonstration that you want to show, or pictures of your actual product, like people that are cooking or doing restaurants. You could obviously do that as well. So, moving on. Okay, so this is just the table that you guys have to make. You can do your paper copy. I'm going to need to see a copy of it, so electronically it's usually easier to keep organized. So I have my cost, like just my startup cost here, which you guys know is the investments that you need to make beforehand. In this case, the amount of research that we needed to develop the product, the materials to create it. It's probably not a good idea to shock kids in class, so we had to get some permits and pay for a couple lawyers. And I deliberately made a few small math errors on here so you can't just copy and paste. Nice try. Then here we know your monthly costs added to your original costs are going to give you your total costs. So at some point, I should be able to say to you, after 8 months, how much will you have invested? After 10 months, how much will you have invested? After 2 years, how much will you have invested? And that should easily be able to be indicated with your total cost, which, keep in mind, this is your first equation that you have to write, total cost. So moving on, you need to have charts, graphs, tables, equations, all of that stuff. So your total costs are represented here in the table and here in the graph as well. And then here in the equation, variables are defined here, the number of months and the money. And then I have my equation. So my cost is equal to $3,100 times the number of months. So this is my cost per month plus my startup cost of $12,400. So like I said, I can see from your equation or your table or your graph after 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 2 years, you should be going up to what your costs end up being. Because as an investor, I want to know how much money you're going to be sinking into this thing before it becomes profitable. Now over here, this is your income table. So at 0 months, obviously no income. So based on selling 100 bands per week, this is the income. And same thing, we should be able to see it for 2 years. Then this is the equation I could use to solve for income. So if I sell, the number of bands that I sell in 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, times the amount per month is going to give me the total amount made. Once again, as an investor, I want to be able to see that because I want to know right here what is this point where my cost and my income meet each other and I become, ta-da, profitable. So that equation is going to be the same for everybody. Profit equals cost minus income. Or is it profit equals income minus cost? I'll let you figure out which one makes more sense. Then here, kind of the end, maybe a closing statement, based on the sales projections, we'll be able to be profitable about after 8 months. Then obviously, we're going to have some questions for you and things like that we hope you're prepared to answer. So this does not include the written proposal that we need to see. And my numbers, like I said, are deliberately incorrect in spots just to make sure nobody's being lazy and stealing my information. Not that anybody would do that. So anyways, introduce your product, talk about it. Why would people want it? Why is it interesting? Why is it better than the competition? Then get into the math. What's your cost going to be? How much money do you need to start up? How much do you need per month? How does that translate to your total cost over time? You guys also have those extra 2 columns, don't forget, where you have your income and then your profit that we'll need to see as well. Like I said, all that should be in table, graph, and equation format. Consult your rubric. I posted it on Canvas as well as all the project requirements. So I'm looking forward to seeing some good stuff from you guys. Last thing, anybody that wants to present on Tuesday, keep in mind the project is due on Wednesday. If you present on Tuesday, then you can go again for a better score. So essentially, if you present on Tuesday, that is for feedback only. Then you will get a chance to present again and actually get a grade. Good luck.